क्या चल रहा है? नहीं चल रहा है? ज्वाइन करो। Okay, guys, we are going to start. So, how many of you have studied the last class lecture? One person. What's your name? Okay. Others? आपकी रिपोर्ट है बेटा? सबमिट किया है आपने? रिपोर्ट सबमिट किया है आपने? तो कैसे क्लास कर रहे हो फिर? वैक्सीनेशन सबमिट कर दिया है? चलो दे देना कल दौड़ से, ठीक है? या जाते वक्त दे देना सर को। मास्क का ध्यान रखिए भाई, मास्क सभी लगा के रखे। मुझे बोलना है इसलिए मैं नीचे कराया, वरना मैं भी लगाता। Okay guys, those who are online, please do one thing. In the chat box, type your name, enrollment number and your section. Those who have joined online, please type your name, enrollment number and section. You have to do this every time when you join the Google Meet. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Name, enrollment number and section. All three are required. Just don't type the name only. Complete details. भाई आप लोग का नाम तो लिस्ट में नहीं है, है? सबमिट कर दिया है? चलो ठीक है। थोड़ा सा डिस्टेंस करके बैठिए, चाहिए तो कुछ लोग आगे आ जाइए, खासतौर से जो पीछे वाले हैं। ना मुझे आपकी शक्ल दिखाई पड़ती है, ना आपको मेरी बात साफ सुनाई पड़ेगी। आगे आने में फायदा है बेटा, खासतौर से जिनको लगता है कि उनको ज्यादा प्रोग्रामिंग की अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं है, उनके लिए ज्यादा जरूरी है कि वो आगे बैठे। Okay, hope everyone has gone through the lecture, last class lecture, but I can see just one hand raised here. Others, have you gone through the lecture? तो ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हो बेटा? डेली का काम डेली करके आओ आप लोग। ऑनलाइन में भी जो लोग हैं ध्यान रखें कि लेक्चर्स आपको जो डेली अपलोड हो रहे हैं उसको डेली के डेली आपको पढ़ के आने हैं। अगर आप if you are not going to go through the lecture, you don't do your homework, then the problem is that the rest of the discussion will be based on whatever we have covered in the last class. And if you do not revise it, probably we won't be in a position to discuss and go fast. ठीक है? So लैपटॉप जिसके पास है वो ऑन कर लें। थोड़ा सा प्रीवियस डिस्कशन के बाद हम सीधे प्रैक्टिकल पे आ जाएंगे। Okay, so in the last class we have discussed that Java is what? It's a compiled and interpreted language. So this, the technique, that is a two-step procedure that involves, the first is the compilation procedure and second is the interpretation procedure. This gives you platform independence. Okay. I think I have not shared the screen. Guys who are online, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So, in the last class, we have discussed that Java is a compiled and interpreted language. That means we have got a two-step procedure. One is you have to use the Java C command. Java C means Java compiler. And we use this command to basically compile the program that we write. For example, the name of the program that I have mentioned here in this example is program.java. So we have got the extension .java. Just like for C++, we had the extension CPP. For C, we had the extension for C, .c. Okay. For Python, py. Okay. Uh, then the first step was this is done, and if your program doesn't have any error, that means you don't get a compilation error. Then in that case, what will happen? You will see the command prompt appear silently without any message. So if you go to the same folder and you see, then just like program.java, there will be another file that is program.class, which you will see that has been created automatically or that has been compiled and created by the compiler, right? तो क्या होगा कि जब आप program.java को कंपाइल करेंगे जावा सी कमांड यूज करके, उसी डायरेक्टरी में एक फाइल बनेगी जिसका नाम है program.class. This .class file is the one which is platform independent. That means I can take this file to a Linux environment probably, and I can interpret in the Linux environment or the Mac machine, right? So now to interpret, what we do, we use the Java command and then give the name of the program. We do not put any extension, neither Java nor .class. ठीक है, आपको सिर्फ नाम बताना है, ठीक है, and it will interpret and show the output. ठीक है, but for all this purpose, we need to have the JDK installation on our machine. The first step that we want to do is we need to install the JDK. So those who have machine, if you already have got JDK installed, no problem. If you do not have the JDK installed, then I'm going to install the JDK on my machine. You have to repeat the process. Okay. So before that, let me remove the JDK which I am already having in my machine. Okay. See, I am removing the installed JDK. I'm saying uninstall so that I can fresh install the JDK and then you can repeat the steps. Okay. So I will uninstall the Java JDK kit. Now I need to install it again. Let me go to the browser. I will type download JDK. The first link that you will see is from Oracle. That says Java SE Development Kit 8 download. Okay, this is not the latest version. In fact, 16 is the latest version. You can see the second, link. You can see Java SE. SE stands for Standard Edition. SE stands for Standard Edition. There are typically three, in fact, not three, but four editions. One is Java Standard Edition that we are going to use for our core Java programming. The other is Enterprise Edition that is used for the advanced Java for a web application development or an enterprise application development, which is basically in a distributed environment. Okay? And the third one is the Micro Edition, which is used for the handheld devices like Android. Okay? There's another edition, they call it as Java FX, that is for the UI development. Although I do not say that it's a different edition because it's just a new, framework for the UI development. ठीक है. So typically we will talk about the three editions: Java Standard Edition, which we are going to install; Java Enterprise Edition, that you will require when you want to develop a web application or a distributed application, a complete enterprise application for say. ठीक है. Java Micro Edition if you want to develop applications for the handheld devices like mobile phones and these devices. ठीक है. So the history of Java is initially Sun Microsystem was the one which has इसमें सेक्शन बी के सारे हैं, सेक्शन सी का कोई नहीं है. अच्छा अलग से लिखा था. ठीक है. So initially Java was developed and maintained by Sun Microsystems, as you know, right? A few years back Oracle acquired Sun Microsystems. Things start changing by then. Sun Microsystem has a complete kind of guarantee that they are not going to remove the open source flexibility that the user has. What is the open source software? जिसमें source code available है तभी आप contribution दे सकते हैं, right? And open source software is something which has got the source code available so that you can not only just download the JDK version, but you can also download the whole of the source code which is working behind this JDK installation. And if you want, you can even make any changes and you can float your own versions. For example, few application servers which are meant for the enterprise application hosting. When I say application server, it's a software. It's a piece of software, not the hardware I'm talking about. ठीक है. हार्डवेयर होता है, हार्डवेयर के ऊपर सॉफ्टवेयर होता है. ठीक है. हार्डवेयर को भी कहेंगे हम सर्वर कहेंगे, और हार्डवेयर के अंदर जो प्रोग्राम हम डालेंगे किसी एप्लीकेशन को होस्ट करने के लिए उसको एप्लीकेशन सर्वर, सम टाइप कंटेनर. ठीक है. But these terms have different meanings. Container is typically or technically different from application server, but in just as a simple words I will say the server software. ठीक है. सर्वर सॉफ्टवेयर हम कह रहे हैं उसको. तो जो सर्वर सॉफ्टवेयर इंस्टॉल कर रहे हैं, बात सर्वर सॉफ्टवेयर में क्या होता है कि वो जेडीके का जो ओरेकल सप्लाई कर रहा है या सन माइक्रोसिस्टम जो सप्लाई करता था पहले, उस कंपाइलर को और उस इंटरप्रेटर को यूज न करके अपना कंप्लीट खुद से उन्होंने उसमें एज अ पार्ट ऑफ द कंपोनेंट डाल रखा है जो जेडीके काम करेगा, यानी उनकी जेवीएम ही अलग है. ठीक है. ऐसा पॉसिबल है बिकॉज जावा इज ओपन सोर्स, स्पेसिफिकेशन भी इसके ओपन है. बाइट कोड पे भी आएंगे, वो एक अलग चीज. ठीक है. तो जावा क्या है? ओपन सोर्स का मतलब इसका सोर्स कोड अवेलेबल है, आप सोर्स कोड को ले सकते हैं. जो पूरा जेडीके आपका है वो किस बैकग्राउंड में इसके क्या कोड काम कर रहा है, उन सब कोड को आप देख सकते हैं. ठीक है. और उनमें चाहे तो चेंजेस भी करके अपने वर्जन को फ्लोट भी कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. तो दैट इज द सिंपल मीनिंग ऑफ ओपन सोर्स. पीपल very often they confuse open source with the free software. Free is something different. Free is, it may not be open source, but it's still available for you to free use under certain licenses or for certain period of time. ठीक है. Depends. ठीक है. Something you can get completely free for life, but you won't get the source code. ठीक है. But when you get the source code, then only you say it's a open source. So Sun Microsystem has pledged that they are going to keep Java as an open source thing, and their community strived hard to do this. Once Oracle acquired, Oracle changed the business model a little. They start flexing it, right? So till Java 8, everything is open source. In fact, there was an intermediate version of Java 9 that has come in between. I had installed and used it once. Then they have removed it from the website. You won't find Java 9 on the website. Java 8, the Java 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 is the latest version, right? So when we talk about a complete open source with no restrictions, then you will have to go for Java 8. But for the basic purpose, you don't have to worry even though if you are using the advanced version like Java 16. Because what they have done is they have added many features which come as a separate software. So they have included into the JDK itself. And depending upon how you are going to use it, you may probably have to have license for it if you want to use it for commercial purpose, not for the academic purpose. Commercial purpose के लिए आपको यूज करना है तो आपको लाइसेंस लेना पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज आपके लिए अभी भी फ्री ही है, ठीक है. So I don't have to worry about the payment and all those things. So I will go for the latest version, which is Java 16. So Java Standard Edition Development Kit 16 downloads. Here, when I will come to this page, I will see, 16.0.2. This is the latest version, and you can see there is a list of product with having a number of file descriptions. Okay? These are the downloadable files for the JDK installation. Now these downloadable files, they are different. That means you have to choose one depending upon what is your machine, your operating system. Depending upon that configuration, you will have to choose one of them. Okay? I can directly tell you that just download this particular software for your particular system. But the thing is that you will encounter such multiple files in different software that you install in future also. So you should be able to recognize what this name means basically, and what is the machine that it is meant for. This particular package is meant for. Okay? So when you see Linux, it's for Linux, any flavor of Linux, whether it's a Red Hat or Ubuntu or any. Okay? 64-bit machine means your machine, the hardware that you are using, it's a 32-bit machine, 64-bit machine, not the 32-bit machine. Okay? If you are using probably an old computer, then you will have to check in My Computer's properties. Then you will see whether it's a 32-bit machine or a 64-bit machine. So now they have removed all the installation for the 32-bit machine. So I don't know if you try, and I think there should be a backward compatibility, and it should also work on 32-bit machine. But I have not tested on a 32-bit machine. Okay? So everything which is coming is for 64-bit machine in the installation. Probably you will have to look for the older installation packages that you can get for the 32-bit machine. Okay? Clear? If you find anything which is related to the 32-bit machine, then instead of 64, you will see 86. 86 is written over there, either x86 or directly 86. ठीक है? So 86 translates to 32-bit machine. ठीक है? वो बहुत पहले आपने पढ़ा होगा ना माइक्रो प्रोसेसर के क्लासेस में. अब पता नहीं आप लोगों ने पढ़ा है कि नहीं, हमने पढ़ा था. 86 मशीन जो होती है, 86 मशीन होती है, उसको हम लोग किट आया करती थी, उसमें हम लोग लैब किया करते थे. ठीक है? एक एस्केलेटर का एक हार्डवेयर होता था, उसे कनेक्ट करते थे, अप डाउन के लिए प्रोग्राम लिखते थे लो लेवल लैंग्वेज पे. तो वो बेसिकली माइक्रो प्रोसेसर के लिए होता था आपका. तो ये इंडिकेट कर रहा है मशीन के रजिस्टर की कैपेबिलिटी वगैरह को. एनीवेज, सो वी हैव द मॉडर्न मशीन्स व्हिच आर 64-bit machines. So if I want to choose for different versions which are of 64-bit machine for the same platform, that's for the Linux. So you can see one is the RPM package, resource package manager. So RPM means just like you get installers in your Windows, Linux also gives you a very good UI for the installation purpose, and those provisions are termed as RPM packages. ठीक है? तो अगर RPM देख रहे हैं, इसका मतलब अगर आप इसको डाउनलोड करेंगे, if you download these packages, then you will get a complete installer. You just have to go through the click buttons to do the complete installations. And if you can see here, it's a compressed archive. This is also called as binary. ठीक है? Just like a zip file. So you have got a WinZip in Windows, a WinRAR in Windows. Similarly, you have got another zip format for Linux. ठीक है? For Mac, I don't know, maybe they must have some different format, right? So if you see this compressed archive, that means you can download it. You won't get the installer. You can just unzip it or unarchive it, uncompress it, and then you have to do a few things manually, like the setting of the paths. ठीक है? वो कुछ काम जो आपका इंस्टॉलर कर रहा था, वो काम आपको मैनुअली करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है? वो क्या काम करने पड़ेंगे वो भी दिखा दूंगा मैं आपको. कभी अगर आपको ऐसी जरूरत पड़े तो आप कर सकेंगे. Okay, so for the ease, you will choose either the RPM package for the Linux environment, or if I come to the Windows environment, you see Windows also has got x64 installer now. You will get a complete installer, or the compressed archive file, which should be a zip file. ठीक है? So zip में मुझे extra काम करना पड़ेगा. I will prefer for the first time, those who are using for the first time, I will prefer to go with the installer. Similarly, you will have the option for the Mac machine as well, installer and archive. ठीक है? So let me download this version, Windows 64 installer. चेक करना पड़ेगा. It will take a while. See, the installer download is complete. I have double clicked it, and I'm going to install now. So welcome to the installation wizard for Java Standard Edition Development Kit 16.0.2. I will press next. It will pick up a directory that is the default directory. For the first time users, I will suggest that you do not change this directory. Otherwise, you can change the directory from this button and you can locate wherever you want the installation to go. Okay. Next. जिनके पास कंप्यूटर है और इंस्टॉलेशन नहीं है वो करते रहे साथ में. People who are online, please keep doing the installation. See, this installation is complete. Okay. Let me just close it. So I have already installed JDK, right? Now, if I want to verify it, I will have to go to the file explorer, check at the location where it is installed. So the default location it has given me is C drive, program files, Java. So let me go to the C drive. You see, there must be a Java folder. Sorry, program files. I will have to go for the program files. You see, there are two versions of the program files and program files x86. Just for your knowledge, I'm telling you, if you install any software which is specific for the 32-bit machine, it will still run in the 64-bit machine, but the installation will land into x86. Okay? But because this installer was for 64-bit machine and I have got a compatible machine, so I will check into program files, not program files x86. Okay? Here you see Java folder is there. It has appeared. Java, JDK 16.0.2. Then I've got a few folders like bin, include, lib, right? All these folders. So there's a folder called as bin. As of now, this is of importance for me because it contains, along with other DLS, dynamic link libraries, along with the DLS, it contains the program or the commands that we discussed yesterday. The commands here, Java, Javac, right? You can see the java.exe file is here. Javac.exe file is also here. Correct? You will see few others like javadoc.exe. This is used for documentation purpose, generating the documentation automatically. Okay? As of now, we are not bothered about it. Guys, please. So these two files, Java and Javac, you will find it the bin directory of the installation folder. Okay? Now, let me go to the command prompt. Okay? See, I am in the directory C drive user shahi, right? In a different directory from the bin directory. I'm not in the bin directory where Java and Javac commands are there, right? Even then, if I just type either Java or Javac, right? It is going to give me a list of options. That means, you cannot leave the Java command empty. You have to provide some parameters to it. Maybe the file name or these parameters which are listed down here to work with it. ठीक है? ये आपको दिखा रहा है, लेकिन अगर ये दिखा रहा है, this is being displayed, then at least you know that your installation is successful. It's complete. Now the question is, this Java command, which I have tried to type here and run at this particular folder, this command is not available in this folder. It is rather available in the bin directory of the Java installation folder. So how come it is picking that folder or recognizing that particular program, the Java program? It's because we have done something extra. Okay? Not we have done, but rather the installer has done something extra. Okay? And this, whatever we are going to discuss now, this extra part is the something which you have to do if you do not use the installer. Rather, you download the archive version or the compressed version. Then you have to do all those things manually. Okay? So what the installer has done for us, let's go and check. Go to my computer or this PC, right click on it, properties, right? Then on the right side you will see advanced system settings. ठीक है? इस पे आप क्लिक करो. This system properties window will come. Correct? You have got environment variables over here. Under environment variable, you will see there is something called as Java home. And this Java home contains the path till the installation folder of JDK. That means C drive program file is Java JDK 16.0.2. That's it. Okay? That indicates the installation folder of Java. That is what we call as Java home. Okay? Where the Java JDK lies. And if you look at this path environment variable, it contains the path till bin folder where Java C and Java commands are available. Okay? So that means in the command prompt, when I type Java or Java C, it is automatically recognizing that this particular program is available in the bin directory of the Java home. And how it is recognizing is because it is reading this environment variable path, the path environment variable. And from the path environment variable, it is able to pick up the directory. In fact, there are so many so many parts of the path variable. You can see there is another directory also. Okay, so it is going to check in each and every directory one by one. Okay. Installer ने automatically कर दिया है. Sometime it may happen that if you have already another version of Java installed and then you uninstall it, maybe your path remains unedited. And if you install it, the installer may leave it as previous, value. So you might have to change it explicitly. ऐसा करना पड़ सकता है, ठीक है? यहाँ पे आप टाइप कर सकते हैं, इसको एडिट कर लो. Depends upon. Sometimes it will happen that for some of the operating system and some of the versions of the operating system, the installer is going to overwrite. Sometimes it may happen that it may not be able to overwrite for certain security reasons. For example, if you are not logged in as an admin, say for example, then this may happen. ठीक है? ऐसी problem हो सकती है. So in that case, you may have to change it personally. You have to go there at the environment variable. You will have to change it. Java home ना? हाँ कर सकते हैं. That's it, but उसकी जरूरत नहीं है. तुम इंस्टॉलर को प्रॉपर्ली करने दो, क्योंकि अननेसेसरी कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी में क्यों जाते हैं, राइट? इंस्टॉलर को करने दो उसको, फिर उसके बाद चेंज कर लो अगर दिक्कत आ रही है तो. ठीक है गाइस? भाई ऑफलाइन क्लास में आकर के बातें करोगे. दोबारा दिखा दो, ठीक है? इंस्टॉल होने के बाद से फिर से बताएं. ओके, कोई बात नहीं. तो बातें करना बंद करो तब तो बताऊं. बातें करना भी जारी रखोगे फिर बताऊंगा भी कैसे बताऊं. हाँ वो लगा लो, वो ज्यादा अच्छा है. उससे मुंह थोड़ा बंद रहेगा तो शायद आवाज ना निकले. ठीक है? तो अब देखो हम क्या कर रहे हैं. सिंपल से जैसे माई कंप्यूटर होता था वैसे अब विंडोज 10 है तो दिस पीसी दिख रहा है. इसके अंदर जा रहे हैं, राइट क्लिक करा है इस पर, प्रॉपर्टीज आपको दिख रहा है, प्रॉपर्टीज में जा रहे हैं. प्रॉपर्टीज में जाने के बाद एडवांस सिस्टम सेटिंग हमको दिख रही है, राइट? वी आर गेटिंग एडवांस सिस्टम सेटिंग. So we will go into advanced system setting. In this window, you will see environment variable button. I will have to click this environment variable button. There you will find two environment variables which is of importance to you. One is Java home that contains the path till JDK installation folder. That is the home folder of Java installation. ठीक है, ऐसा नेम इंडिकेट किया। आप पे नहीं आ रहा है, इंस्टॉल कर लिया कंप्लीट, तो आपको सेट करना पड़ेगा। आप क्या देख रहे हैं? हाँ तो बता रहा हूँ क्या करो उसके लिए। अगर आपको दिख नहीं रहा है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये नहीं होता यहाँ पर, मैं इसको डिलीट कर देता हूँ, ठीक है। अब मेरे पास ये नहीं है, पाथ के अंदर जाकर के भी ये जो इन्फॉर्मेशन है जेडीके वाली, ये मैंने डिलीट कर दिया, ठीक है। अब मेरे पास ये इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं है, जैसे आपके सिस्टम में वैसा हो गया, ठीक है। नाउ आई वांट टू ऐड जावा होम। आई विल से जावा होम इज नॉट अवेलेबल हियर, so I will say new environment variable. There are two kinds of environment variables. One is the user, one is the system variable. First of all, what is the environment variable? Eh? नहीं, वो तो पाथ का स्पेसिफिक काम हुआ। जावा होम तो इंस्टॉलेशन फोल्डर बता रहा है। दूसरे वेरिएबल्स हो सकते हैं, वन ड्राइवर, कंज्यूमर, ये कुछ और इंडिकेट कर सकता है। वन ड्राइव की लोकेशन बता रहा है, राइट। So variables may have different values and they mean different things, right? Guys, ऐसा करोगे तो फिर ऑनलाइन क्लास ही हो जाएगी, फिर बातें करोगे तो फिर ऑनलाइन क्लास ही हो जाएगी, फिर बंदी कर दूंगा फिर ऑफलाइन क्लास। फायदा क्या है फिर? यहाँ भी आके वही करना है तो घर पे बैठ के यार कम से कम वहाँ पे आप अपना वो जो है माइक्रोफोन है वो तो ऑफ कर लेते हो, ठीक है। तो अब यहाँ पे मेरे पास जावा होम भी नहीं दिख रहा है, पाथ के अंदर वो एंट्री भी नहीं है। मैं क्या करूंगा, न्यू कैपिटल लेटर में जावा अंडरस्कोर होम, जावा अंडरस्कोर होम मैंने टाइप किया। इसकी वैल्यू नहीं, जो जो लिखा है यही लिखना है आपको, इसी नाम से पहचाना जाता है। तो environment variables are those variables which are managed and kept by the operating system. जैसे विंडोज ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम है तो ये मैनेज कर रहा है। डायनेमिक ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम होता तो वहां भी आप जावा होम ही देते, यही नाम देते, ठीक है, कोई और नाम नहीं देते। बट डायनेमिक्स वुड हैव मैनेज दैट। So environment variables are those variables which are managed by the operating system, and the value that we provide in the environment variable, like the path of the Java installation folder. So that value will be consulted by the third party software to reach to that particular location or to fetch any information, for example. नहीं समझा? Like third party ID or your command prompt. In your command prompt you are typing Java and it's fetching the location of the Java because it is fetching the location from the path environment variable. ठीक है? Your IDs like NetBeans or Eclipse, I will come what is the ID. Okay, so they are the software platform that will help you to develop the application faster in Java. So those software platforms, they will fetch the installation folder from Java home location. So the name of the environment variable has to be the same. It has to be Java home, whether your machine is Linux, Windows, or Mac, or whatever. If you want to indicate the bin folder where the executable commands are available, so you have to add in the path environment variable, whatever the operating system be, doesn't matter. So now for the Java home, I will go to the JDK installation folder and देखिए बिन दिख रहा है ना, बिन से पहले तक this folder. I will just copy this path, copy address as text. मैंने यहाँ से कॉपी कर लिया, वेरिएबल वैल्यू जावा होम के वेरिएबल वैल्यू पे आया मैं, यहाँ मैंने इसको पेस्ट कर दिया, ठीक है। If the installer is not able to do this, you will have to do it manually, ठीक है। This is the Java home, okay. As soon as I press OK, yeah. फाइल्स पे जा रहा हूँ मैं, दिस पीसी सी ड्राइव प्रोग्राम फाइल्स ब्राउज करता गया मैं, ब्राउज करके जेडीके के इंस्टॉलेशन फोल्डर में आया, राइट क्लिक किया, कॉपी एज अ टेक्स्ट, कॉपी एज अ टेक्स्ट कर दिया, राइट क्लिक करके कॉपीड हो गया, वहां जाके पेस्ट कर दिया मैंने, ठीक है। देखिए there are two kinds of user variable, there are two kinds of environment variable. One is the user variable, the other is system variable. System variable is applicable for all users. Say for example in your machine if you have created 2 or 3 users, so if you have created the environment variable for a particular user, only that user will have access to that environment variable's value. ठीक है? If you have put anything in the system variable, then it is applicable for everyone. It's up to you, whatever you choose. I have just got one user, so I am choosing user variable. Not an issue. ठीक है? Similarly, for path, I will go to the path. Now you do not see the JDK bin folder address or the path shown being shown over here. So I will say new, a new row will appear. Let me paste till JDK / bin. That's it. Okay? This is the place from where you are going to get your, or your command prompt is going to get your Java and Java C commands, the compilers and the interpreters. Percentage basically जब रिलेटिव लोकेशन शो करना होता है उसके लिए यूज करते हैं. ठीक है? जैसे यूजर प्रोफाइल, तो यूजर प्रोफाइल का मतलब क्या है? यूजर प्रोफाइल अब सिस्टम ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम जानता है कि उसके लिए से कहाँ फोल्डर बना रखा है. आपने यहाँ लिख करके एक नाम दिया है, तो यूजर प्रोफाइल ये खुद एक वेरिएबल है. ठीक है? उसके बाद उसकी लोकेशन को चेंज करके फिर वो ऐप डाटा फोल्डर बनाएगा, उसके अंदर जाएगा, फिर दूसरे फोल्डर के अंदर जाएगा. ठीक है? रिलेटिव ये बात हुआ. ठीक है? ओके, डन. You have got the value in your path as well and in Java home as well. Close all this, windows.
सर पाथ आपने किसमें चेंज करा था, यूजर वेरिएबल या फिर सिस्टम वेरिएबल में?
मैंने यूजर में करा था, आप जिसमें चाहे कर सकते हैं. सिस्टम वेरिएबल में करेंगे तो इट विल बी एप्लीकेबल फॉर एवरी यूजर. If you have got multiple users,
Okay.
for example, if you have created login user for yourself, for your brother, for example, then if you make changes in the environment variables of the system, then that will be applicable for all users. Otherwise, if you make changes to the environment variable of a particular user, then that will be applicable to that user only. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
तो environment variable सिर्फ ऐसा नहीं है कि जावा में वो करना पड़ेगा. Environment variable is something you will come across when you install different languages or different softwares. You will have to install at many places. ठीक है? So now let's try some hands-on. Those who have just installed, go to the command prompt and type either Java or Java C and try to see what happens. Whether you are getting this this kind of screen with number of options displayed along with the command, or you are getting a file or command not found option. Just type Java and press enter key in any of the folders. ये आ रहा है, that means your installation is successful. ठीक है? किसी को नहीं मिल रहा है तो then he has to go and set up the path. Okay? See, similarly for Java C, if I want to see the version, I can put a hyphen symbol and then type the key version. This option is listed in the information that you are getting, and I will get the version of the Java compiler that I'm using, that is 16.0.2 as of now. Okay? Now I want to make a simple program that is going to print hello world. It's a tradition that whenever we learn a new language, we create a hello world program that is going to print something on the console, right? So let's do one thing. Let's create a directory in the C drive for you guys. So I'm going to the C drive. I'm creating a new folder. Okay? Let me say the name of the folder is BCA section B and C, for example, because the guys from the C section have also joined. Now this folder is created. I will go within this folder. I will create a new text file. Guys, right click in the folder, new text document. Okay? And the extension has to be .java, not .txt. So I will change the extension .java. Let me say the name of My first program is as the same as which I've given the example yesterday. My first PROG, that is my favorite. Okay? And it will say that if you change the file extension, the file might be unusable. Don't worry about it. Just say yes. So now you can see this file is this can be open in Notepad or WordPad. Okay? You just double click on it. A blank file is there. Now I will type something. Don't worry of it if you're not getting any everything out of it. But if you know C++, you will be getting the idea what I'm doing. So I will use the keyword class, and let me do some mistake, okay? I'm just using class intentionally. If anyone of you is familiar what I'm doing wrong, just remain silent. Class, I'm creating a class, public, static, void, main, the method. So this curly braces which is coming with the main, the start curly braces and the end curly braces. This indicates the body of the main method or the main function. And we know from our previous knowledge of C and C++ that the main function is the particular function which indicates the start of the execution. That means whatever the statements that we are going to write in the main method or the main function, those statements will take the control and start executing. If we want to execute any other method, we can write the names of those methods within the main method and they will also invoked. Okay? But as of now, the first point of execution is the main method. So main is the name of the method. Deliberately, I am writing in a small caps. You can, it's the name of the method. Yeah. See, class, public, static, and void. All three are keywords. And keywords are always written in small caps, small letter. Okay? Main is the name of the method. It's my choice. I can write either in caps letter or in small letter, but there will be consequences. So we will discuss those consequences later on. As of now, just understand that I am intentionally writing this main in small caps. Okay? Then this is the parenthesis of a function. Okay, brackets, the two brackets. I have started the body of the class. I have not closed the body of the class, so I will close the body of the class as well. Okay, so starting curly braces for the class and ending curly braces for the termination of the class, for the termination of the body of the class. Similarly, curly braces, there is a start of the curly braces for the main method and there is a curly braces for the closure of the main method. Okay, so the class has a body, the main method has a body. Okay, now I'm going to write a statement which will do something. So the statement is system dot out dot print ln. Okay, we will see later on what system means. Don't worry about it. But can you recognize what is this out? C++ पे क्या होता था? C out. Very much similar to C out. ठीक है? And what was C out? No. What was that actually? But what was that? It's an instance of something which is similar to print stream. Which is going to print. That means there is a class in C++ with similar name, either print stream or something similar, and that cout is an object of it, right? Similarly, we have got something called as out. We remove C instead of cout, we have got out. Similarly, there is cin in C++. We remove C, we have system.in. There is something called as err for error. So that is C error in C++. Here we have got err. So we can have system.in, system.out, system.err. Because I want to send the output or the response to the console. So that's the output. So I will use out here. Then within that out, that means out is an object. ठीक है, ऑब्जेक्ट को हम डिस्कस करेंगे डिटेल में. अगर समझ में नहीं बात आ रही है, कोई परेशानी की बात नहीं है. जस्ट फॉलो दिस स्टेटमेंट. टाइप दिस स्टेटमेंट इन योर फर्स्ट प्रोग्राम एंड रन इट. ठीक है. System.out.println. Now println is a method. It could be print also. Println means whatever you are going to print, that will be printed. After the print, the cursor will move to the next line. Correct? If instead of println, I would have used print, that means after the print, the cursor will stay after the last character of whatever the line that we have printed in the same line. It will not move to the next line automatically. Then in that case, probably you will have to use backslash n. ठीक है, या सी प्लस से एंड लाइन यूज करते थे, यहाँ पे एंड लाइन आप यूज नहीं करेंगे, बैकस्लैश एन यूज करेंगे. ठीक है, करेक्ट, पाइथन में भी यूज करते हैं. ठीक है, so I am using println so that whatever output that I am sending to the console, that is printed, and my cursor should automatically move to the next line, so that if I want to print anything else, that should be printed in the next line. ठीक है, so because println is a method, function, println is a function, a call to a function. ठीक है, नहीं समझ में आ रही है परेशान मत हो. ठीक है, आगे देखेंगे, जो लोग समझ पा रहे हैं वो समझे. इट्स अ फंक्शन एंड इट नीड्स सम arguments to be passed that will be received by the parameter. So when you pass, you call it argument, and where the declaration of the function is there, it will declare some kind of type. That's the parameter. ठीक है, यहाँ पे हम इसको क्या बोलेंगे, argument to this method. So the argument is going to be a string, so that has to go under double quotes. You will start double quote and you will end the double quote, and then let me say I'm typing hello world. Okay, my program is apparently ready for compilation. ठीक है, so I press Ctrl S to save it. Oh yeah, semicolon हर language का by default de facto rule, you have to put a semicolon to terminate a statement. We will not put a semicolon here. We will not put a semicolon after the main method.
सर आपकी आवाज चली गई.
अरे यार सर लेफ्ट कर गए हैं, क्या आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
हाँ सर लेफ्ट कर गए भाई. अब क्या करना है भाई, यहाँ पे रुकना है या नहीं रुकना?
क्या कर सकते हैं, वेट करो कुछ देर, सर ज्वाइन कर रहे होंगे शायद।
ओके। किसी के पास सर का नंबर है तो उन्हें फोन करके देख लो यार।
वेट कर लो यार क्लास में।
कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन आई? क्या हुआ, कुछ पता चला?
भाई कॉल कर रहा हूँ अभी जस्ट।
ओके ओके।
सर उठा नहीं रहे हैं यार फोन।
अच्छा, तो मतलब किसी क्लास में जो है उनसे बात करना पड़ेगा। मैं करता हूँ, देखता हूँ।
सर पढ़ा रहे हैं उनको।
अच्छा अच्छा, हमें भूल गए।
हम भी भूल जाते हैं कि आज क्लास थी, मजे करो।
सर का नेट चले गया है, तो प्रॉब्लली शायद लीव कर सकते हैं अब हम लोग।
मीटिंग रिकॉर्ड तो हो रही है, तो अपना नाम लिख के चैट बॉक्स पे चले जाओ भाई। और क्या।